I'm Andy, one of the KuduPoint owners, and we get a lot of folks asking us how to sharpen the KuduPoint, and I'm going to give you some helpful pointers that I hope you find useful. From a broader perspective, how do you sharpen your KuduPoints? We often answer the same as you sharpen your pocket knife. The materials are essentially the same hardness, same type of material found on many popular pocket knives, and that's why I tell you that. So now I know a few of you will find that answer helpful while others are still looking for clarification. I will tell you that sharpening knives was mysterious to me for a long time, as I could sometimes get really good results and other times it was really frustrating. What helps is a closer look and a better understanding of how steel behaves with abrasives. When I was in my 20s and starting a tool making career, I had the benefit of access to microscopes, and we used these to inspect our work and the cutting tools we were using to produce that work. These tools were either usually high-speed steel or carbide, and both of those materials are even harder and stiffer than your common blade steel. When you observe a sharp edge under a scope, it can and should look pretty much the same no matter what the magnification. The reason is an edge by definition is a thick section going down to nothing, and a dull edge is going to stand out like a broken flat top mountain. It's going to be very obvious. So it would be a good time to talk about burrs. We know that when you sharpen things you tend to create a burr. Now a burr is actually a good thing, because underneath that burr is a sharp edge, much the same as a masterpiece carving is going to be inside of a block of wood. So you should not casually scrape off your burrs. To do so is going to break that sharp edge, and it's going to defeat all of the effort that you put in to get it. So although it may feel sharp after you break a burr off, it's not really. It's more snaggy than it is truly a sharp edge. So back to my observations under the scope. I was shocked to see that these stiff carbide and high-speed steel tools flex like a fishing pole when you put pressure on them with the abrasive stone. So consider this. My comment about a truly sharp edge being a cross-section that diminishes to nothing. Of course, if you apply pressure to that nothing edge, it's going to bend, it's going to flex, and it's going to flex until the strength of that increasing cross-section matches the amount of pressure that you're putting on it. So what happens when you stone an edge properly is that the edge flexes and grows and a burr forms as your theoretical sharp edge forms deeper into the blade. So here's how I like to sharpen my KuduPoints. My first choice of tool is this Easy Lap Diamond Hone Model M, and I've had this for many years. Anything similar will work. This one has fine grit, which I prefer, and you can use anything, but I prefer the less aggressive. It's also quite used, and that helps it be less aggressive too. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color my shiny edge with a Sharpie marker so I can see where I'm rubbing. I like to leave the head on the shaft so it's easier to handle, and it can also be useful to put it in a vise or something like that to help steady things. Remember to be safe when handling your broadheads, sharpening your broadheads, especially when they are on shafts. So I'm going to hold the hone and I'm going to rock it back and forth until I can feel it find that facet. Sometimes it's a little hard to do, but there we go. Now I'm going to push and sweep. But here's the important part, after another safety reminder. Light pressure. Extra pressure just makes the a bigger and thicker burr. My thinking is it better to make a thin burr as possible. The cylindrical hound concentrates the pressure on the edge, and depending on how much material you want to remove, to get down to a good edge, it takes lighter and lighter pressure, or else you just flex the edge away and it never forms a good edge. With the light pressure that I mentioned, this is about where I leave it. To get any finer would require stropping, which is a whole nother subject. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions, drop us a note on our website. And here's wishing you good hunting and more hunting. Thank you.